Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Board Game Heaven Talks Accessories. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'll be taking a look at Wallzap, which is a system that allows you to hang your board games on your wall without damaging the board game, without having to put a nail through it or anything like that, with the contents in the box. A single Wallzap can hold up to 2 kilograms of game, and they also have all kinds of cool stuff that you can hang on your wall, like metallic posters or platforms, so you can display dioramas or Lego kits or Funko Pops, all kinds of stuff that you can display. But today I'm looking specifically at their board gaming solutions. So this box has a couple of accessories inside. I will unbox it first, then I'll show you how to put that in your box and how that works, and I'll demonstrate it by hanging it on my wall here as well. But before I do, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. That really helps the channel. And please also check out my Patreon page if you'd like to support what I do by clicking the link in the description below. Patrons can support me starting from €1 a month, and in return you will get early access to all of my videos, your name in the credits, and access to Patreon exclusive content as well, and you'll automatically save up for the Board Game Heaven enamel pin. With that out of the way, let's check it out. So what do you get in a Wallzap package? Let's open up the box. So it comes in a nice compact box, and the first thing you see is this metal plate with the Wallzap logo on it. It's a powder coated black metal plate that will go inside your box on the bottom to make it magnetic, of course. You get some of these stickers that will hold this in place. These are like corners, so you stick one on each end so you can put it inside the box safely. There's a QR code with instructions, and there's a piece of foam core to keep the magnet away from the panel here. So there's of course the Wallzap itself, the magnet, which is a round disc about 6 millimeters thick, which is magnetic, and it has this metal plate inside with 2 screw holes in it. This is the back. And you also, of course, get 2 screws to screw it in the wall with. You'll need to get a couple of plugs to go with those, but those go in there, and you can see that it is indeed magnetic. I also got this and this. These are 4 of these magnets that go in the lid and in the sides of your box to lock your box lid shut when it's hanging on the wall, so it doesn't fall open. And I got some extras as well, so this is all magnetic as well. That's why the box is just going that way. So I got the stickers here. These are the sticky pads to hold those in place, I guess, although those have sticky pads as well. And let's see, so we have that, and of course there's another scan for instructions, which is the same as that, but I have a bunch of these extra. And this is the standard version of the Wallzap. The deluxe version is basically this with a stainless steel ring around it, which looks nicer on your wall, and they will just remove this from the package, so you have a bigger ring here, and it will sit in here with that stainless steel ring around it, which gives it a nice luxurious look on the wall. I also got an extra plate in here in the bottom of the box, so I can choose a couple of boxes, game boxes, to hang it up, or maybe just exchange them and have a different box on the wall every time. So let's have a look at how that looks on your wall. So here it is, the Wallzap on my wall. Now normally you would just drill 2 holes in the wall, put in 2 plugs, put the Wallzap against that and screw in the 2 screws, and that's that. And then you hang your box on it and you wouldn't see it anymore. But since I have drywall here, which is hollow of course on metal stud beams, I wanted to try something else. Now, behind my table where I usually record my reviews and unboxings, I have this banner hanging here on this very wall, and I took it down for a bit. And I wanted basically to hang the boxes that I review behind me on the wall, but because of the banner, I couldn't just put the Wallzap on top of it because I'd have to drill through my banner, and I didn't want to do that. So what I did is a bit different than you would expect. I drilled a circular hole in the metal stud wall here in the drywall, and of course making sure that I wouldn't drill exactly where a vertical beam was situated. And then I filled in the gap between the brick wall behind this and the front of this drywall with a block of wood that I simply drilled into the actual brick wall, and then I screwed the Wallzap onto that block of wood, and now it sets more or less flush with the drywall, which is pretty cool because then I can hang up my banner again using these plugs here and just hang my box against the banner. So for example, I took this box right here, I put the Wallzap metal plate in the bottom of this box, and now all I have to do is just boom, there you go. Just hang it on the wall, straighten it out a bit, and there you go. So that's pretty awesome, and it works really nicely, and you can pull it off again and then just take another box and hang that on the wall. So let's take a look at what it looks like with the banner back on the wall. So here's my banner back on the wall, and of course you'll be seeing the middle of this in my videos. I'm just standing in the corner here, but somewhere around here it is. Here's the Wallzap. I can barely feel it. It's just sticking out like a millimeter or so. So next time I can just do this, and I got my Wallzap with my game on my wall like that. Isn't that cool? So that works awesomely. So let me show you how to install your Wallzap into your game box so you can hang it from the wall. I just took a bigger box here. This is my HeroQuest New Edition box. This size is about 20 centimeters, 20 centimeters or 8 inches square. So it'll fit in, small box like this. This is about the smallest size you can try. And of course, much bigger boxes will also work. But of course, for bigger boxes, this might move around. So in the package, you will get these stickers, and I don't know if you can see that really well, but they're like these corners, and you peel them off of this plastic back here, and you just put them on the corners of the metal plate, and then you put that in the bottom of your box and you just press that down. I just basically just pushed them all onto the corners first. They stayed in place really nice, and then I just held it more or less in the middle. This doesn't need to be perfect. You can of course measure it out and draw some lines in your box if you want it to be perfect, but of course all the inserts are gonna sit on top of this, and this is just gonna hang, and you can always turn the box a bit once it's hanging on the magnet on the wall. So I just kind of estimated the middle of the box, and it looks fine to me. The package also comes with these protective stickers. This is just a white sheet with plastic stickers, transparent stickers, and you're supposed to stick those to the sides of the box because that's where these little magnets will sit. As you can see, these are just little black magnets, very strong. They're separated in the package by these white pieces, but those are just loose little white separators, because once they stick together it is kind of tricky to get them off of each other again. You can, but they're really strong magnets, because one of those is going to sit on the side and the other is going to sit on the inside of the lid. so that when you close the lid, they will snap together with just the cardboard of the bottom sitting between them. So you don't see it from the outside, of course, and the lid will stay closed. So they included those little transparent stickers to protect your box and to increase the adhesion, apparently. So what you do is you measure the sides of your box. You only need them on the sides. You don't need them on all four, and they recommend doing them on the left and the right side if the box is gonna be hanging up like so. So you just take your measuring tape and you measure the side of your box. Well, this is 30 centimeters, so 15 right there is going to be the middle. So let me just make this a bit smaller so I can put this inside the box. There's the 10, there's the 5, so about 6 inches. And I'll just mark that a bit here. And same on the other side, which is roughly there. And it's not, again, you don't need to measure this out at the exact millimeter. You just need to roughly see where you marked that position, and then you just take one of these stickers off. As you can see, transparent stickers here. Sticky side is that side. And you kind of just, let me just put the focus on the box there so it doesn't focus on my hands. And you just put it on the bottom like so, roughly in the middle where that little mark is that I made, and just stick it in. That's it. Just stick it in there. And I'll do the same on the other side. So here we go. Same thing. Just stick that in here. And the sticker is a lot bigger than the magnet is, so you have plenty of wiggle room. So then I'll take one of these magnets, and there's an adhesive tape on the back there, which you just peel off. There we go. So there's the adhesive side. And now I just need to put it here, and I'll put it not entirely at the bottom. And if your box lid is not entirely flush, then measure that out first. They have instructions online that tell you to measure the thickness of the bottom. If the lid is entirely flush with the bottom, like exactly, then you basically need to subtract the thickness of your box, the bottom of the box, of course. You just measure the side, which is the same. And any lift that you have, you add that to the thickness of the box. So you've got the lift plus the bottom thickness, and that's roughly where you mark, again, using a measuring tape from the bottom. You mark that spot, and then that's where you put your magnet. Because if you put it all the way on the bottom here, and your lid has some lift, then you won't have any spots to put the magnet in the lid. So you need to raise this a bit from the bottom to be able to do that. Now I know that my HeroQuest box sits entirely flush, so I could technically put it all the way in the bottom, but I wanted to give it a little bit of space. So I'm just gonna put it there. I'll take another one, and you can already tell if I put this here on the outside, then it's gonna just snap there. So this is basically the position where it's gonna sit in the lid. So, but now I'm going to put this one on the other side. So I once again check where that mark was that I made, and I just push it against that. Again, I just held a little bit of distance from the bottom and just push that in. Now don't worry if it's a little bit skewed, you know, if that happens, don't worry, there's a solution for that. So after you've put in the metal plate and the two magnets for the lid, your box locks, as they call them, then it's time to put everything back into the box. So I'm taking my trays here. These are the miniature trays and all of the stuff that comes in this box. Put that inside on the bottom. Unfortunately, this also has a little wiggle room, so these magnets aren't in the way. They are, of course, very thin. They're like 1 millimeter thick. Here's another tray with more miniatures. So I'm putting that on top of that. And then we had the board, the DM screen, the booklets, and a little spacer to keep the board from shuffling around. So as you can see, all of this will sit flush. And then you take the lid. I'm taking my lid here. I always like to keep the plastic on to avoid shelf wear, but obviously most people just take them off. So you close your box all the way. All right, close that up and then check. See, this box is absolutely flush. If I let go a little bit, you know, it might bounce up a bit, but that's okay. So now, once everything is back inside, you have to put your box upside down. Yes, upside down, and then kind of let it rest. So that, you know, if there is a little bit of lift due to booklets or whatever, the box can kind of relax and, you know, don't have to push it down too hard, because that's where the other magnets are going to sit. Now, this is a bit of a trick because the magnet is going to be here somewhere. You can always see that it's taking to the other magnet. Of course, with the non-sticky side pointing inwards, because that's you know, pointing towards the other magnet. So it's roughly here. So I can't take the lid off and then stick it in and hope that it's in the right place. No, there's a trick. So even if it was a bit skewed, you basically just take the magnet and peel off the adhesive. So there's a sticky side, and you kind of carefully just open the lid a bit. Just use your finger and open it, and then carefully that the sticky side is pointing out, not touching the lid. Just let that kind of fall in. Boop, there it goes. You see that? So as you can see, it kind of just snapped into place. It found the magnet on the bottom of the box on the inside, and that's where your magnet needs to be. So you just push the lid against the magnet, against the sticky side, and that's all you need to do. So let's do the same on the other side here. I'm taking my final magnet, peel off the protective tape, sticky side out, open the lid carefully, don't rip your box, hold it until you feel, yep, there it is, boop. Now it's in place where it needs to be. Maybe push down the box a little bit, not too much, and then do this. All right, now I've got everything in place. I'm just pushing them together. And now you can technically just put it the other way around again. So now my lid is locked. So let's see how that works. Now the instructions tell you that one single Wallzap that I have here behind the banner, you would normally just see the black circle, of course, on your wall where you've mounted it, can hold up to 1 kilogram worth of game, depending on the thickness of the cardboard box itself. So if the bottom of the box, if that cardboard is 3 millimeters thick, then you can hold up to 1 kilogram. If it's 2 millimeters thick, it's 1.5, and if it's 1 millimeter thick, then it can hold up to 2 kilograms. So I've taken into account, of course, the banner itself, which is in the millimeter thick. It's not even half. It's very thin vinyl. But I've taken that into account a little, so I've taken just the box with, of course, the metal plate in it, which is adding some weight, of course, and I just added a little bit of stuff in there. This is now exactly 1.33 kilograms, and the box bottom, as we've seen, is 2 millimeters. So it should be 1.5 kilograms, but since I've got the banner, I've weighed it down to 1.33. So we'll see how that goes. Bam, there's the Wallzap. And that seems to work. Let me just use my pass here to make that nice and horizontal. So there we go. That hangs just nicely. Of course, I cheated a bit because the Hero Quest box is a lot heavier I left stuff out. So this would have been over 2 kilograms and it wouldn't have held. You need 2 Wallzaps for bigger boxes, but that is of course an option. But I just wanted to show you this box and hang it on my wall. But the smaller box, like this one, will hold very easily and just fine. So there you go. So my final thoughts on the Wallzap accessories. I think this is a very simple and elegant way of displaying your board games or other items that you want to display on your wall without having to drill too many holes. You just need to drill 2 holes for the magnet itself and you're done, and then you can just exchange boxes or other things that you want to hang on your wall. Just be careful, it is a strong magnet, so don't hold any electronic devices near it. Don't put your phone near it or anything that has to do with your computer. You don't want to erase any data from your hard drives. It's very easy and simple to set up. Just pick a box you want to hang up, weigh it, and if it's not more than the specified weight in the table that you get with this package, there is an instruction online that you can read, and I suggest you read that thoroughly. But you can hang up to 2 kilograms if the cardboard isn't too thick. Just put in the metal plate first without attaching it with the adhesive tape, and just try it out first. Just hang it on your wall, hold the lid and see if it slides down. If it doesn't, you're probably fine. And because the metal plate adds some weight as well, so make sure you get that measurement right and then just try it out before you put everything in place with the adhesive tape. And then just let that dry for 24 hours and you'll be fine. You can hang just any box on your wall. You can also remove the metal plate again by just ripping off those corner tapes, and then you can use new corner tapes in another box. If it's a smaller box, you don't even really need those corner tapes. If you have a box like this size right here, you can just put the metal plate in the back and that will hold just fine. And you can exchange it more easily with other boxes, because for bigger boxes you're gonna need to have those adhesives to keep that metal plate in place. But for smaller boxes you can just easily exchange it. You will need additional box locks to keep the lid on. You don't want to hang it on your wall and then have the lid slowly fall off overnight and have all your contents on the floor. So that might be a good idea to add some additional box lock magnets. But once you have a magnet on your wall, you can hang pretty much anything up to a certain weight on it. You can exchange it, and I think that's pretty cool. Even just, you know, a game box or something else. They have these cool display stands where you can put on Lego kits or Funko Pops or whatever you want to display, and that's pretty nice as well. So check out their website. I've put a link in the description below and see what kind of accessories they have. They also have a deluxe set, which is the magnet with a stainless steel edge around it, which looks really cool. Of course, if you've got your box on there, you won't see that, but it does add a little bit of luxury, a luxurious look to the magnet. They have package deals as well, so you get a number of magnets, a number of box locks, and everything you need to put that in place. Big thanks to Wallzap for sending me over a package to try and review. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.